Welcome to your December 2025 Oracle and Tarot card reading. Hi, I'm Ethan, and in this two-part reading, we'll uncover the guidance that you need to receive right now to help you move forward with clarity, alignment, and purpose. Part 2 is your pick a card message, complete with your support crystal for the month ahead. Let's begin. Welcome to part 1 of your reading, and first I'm starting with the Unicorn Celestial Unicorn Tarot. I'm just using the major arcana here to find the major theme and where your power lies in this month of December. Okay, so you've got the moon. If you look here, it's illuminating the sea and enabling this unicorn to travel at night. So the way I view the moon is as it's a guiding light, but it's a spiritual light. It's something that illuminates the darkness. So it acts as something that can help us see what others can't see or what we might normally be aware of. So I think what you're being asked to do is to tune into that intuitive intuition, trust your vibes on things. You're being asked to not just accept everything at face value. If you get a feeling from someone or something throughout the month, you need to trust it. It is correct. This is confirmation. Sometimes these cards show up as something that's going on right now in your life. So definitely trust your intuition, go forward, not taking everything on face value as you see things happening in the world, in your life, and you feel that something else is going on, even if all the physical appearance and signs is looking another way. You might be correct, because this is about revelations, it's about the unseen world. The moon rules the spiritual, the unseen, the soul part of our consciousness, so the things that are not in the physical world. So you need to trust your intuition, trust your vibes. That is where your power will be in the month. Next, I pulled 3 cards from the Psychic Tarot for you. And just a quick reminder, I will never DM you or comment online offering personal readings or a message for you that you need to hear. That is definitely not me. So your first card we've got is Authority. And this is the equivalent of the Emperor in traditional tarots. You're being asked, if you look at this guy, he looks like, you kind of know this guy probably knows what he's talking about. He knows who he is. So I think you're being asked to step into inner strength. You're being asked to stand your ground as well. You know, this doesn't look like someone who'll just let people push him about. Your guides, your higher self are asking you to make sure you stand your ground with your thoughts, your ideas, beliefs, anything you're doing creatively, and to trust your own knowledge and capabilities. So you know your stuff. When this card shows up, I think it's a sign that you know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing. If you do feel unsure, uncertain, you're being reminded that no, you're doing the right thing. Remember, your intuition is on point at the moment, and you're also being asked to step into your power. And to, again, as I said, inner strength is really important moving forward. And if you've enjoyed this reading so far, could you please give it a thumbs up? And if you know anyone that could also benefit from this reading, please share it with them. Thank you. Next card we've got for you is Sacrifice, which in this tarot is the equivalent of the Hanged Man. So in this deck, what this is more about to do with self-sacrifice. And that's when we have, I think you've got goals, a project or dreams that you have on the go or that you want to pursue. But you're being reminded that sometimes when we want to do something, we have to sacrifice something else. So you need to create time for any passion projects. If there's things that you're kind of trying to round up by the end of the year and you're feeling a bit like I'm not going to be able to do it, or you're annoyed that you did not complete certain things, ultimately it is up to you. Like, we all have the same amount of hours in the day, and even if you can only fit in a small amount of time, as long as you're dedicated and you're making that sacrifice, you're probably being asked to look at anything that's wasting your time. I kind of think, you know, a lot of us think I don't have time, but we might spend a lot of time on our phones, we might spend a lot of time doom scrolling or watching things online that aren't that important. Even if you enjoy them, they could be done at another time. And maybe you need to carve time out for something that's really important. You need to look at what needs to be let go of that is stealing your time. So have a think about that. As we move to the end of the year, there are things that we do want to complete, so you definitely would benefit from doing this. And next, believe it or not, so all 3 of these cards are major arcana cards, and this deck is thoroughly shuffled and it's been used for years So this is very significant. I don't know if I've ever had 3 cards in a row being majors. Solitude. This card 9 would be the equivalent traditionally of the Hermit. What you're being asked again is time alone is needed somehow. I would say time alone is essential. So that could be just for yourself, for your sanity. You know, December can be a crazy month. But I also think, again, leaning back into the other cards, is hinting that you've got things that you know on a soul level, on some level, that you need to do or you'd like to do. You'd probably do a better job if you just cut off distractions, cut off the outside world, and spend some time doing them. Especially if it's something you're interested in and want to do. Why would you deny yourself that, right? So solitude is really helpful to you for goals and things like that. But also I would say it's a time of inner knowledge and reflection. She's got this book here. It's kind of, she's looking inwards. That's about accessing that inner knowledge, which taps in with the moon energy as well, and getting answers or clarity through self-reflection. So it could be just alone time in your spare time to sit with your feelings and thoughts and maybe get more clarity. And again, remove that distractions, anything that's interfering with your ability to think clearly. So next, the card for, this is a money affirmation card, so it's going to help you with manifesting money. So this is from the Cosmic Wealth Code affirmation deck. And weirdly enough, this is like one of the only cards in the deck that didn't have a person on it. It has this double terminated crystal here. So, you know, I find that interesting. For most of you who follow my channel are into crystals as well. So it says, the universe loves to spoil me with endless riches, which you can use as an affirmation this month. And it's definitely to work through things like blocks to money blocks and blocks to you receiving more. But what that tells me, as it's come up, is there is some kind of receiving issue with you. There could be something that's come up that is blocking you from getting as much as you probably deserve. So you need to let go of any resistance around accepting more. And don't turn down gifts or offers. Someone offered me a free tarot reading where I live. They didn't know what I did, so they knew nothing about me. And initially I felt like I was going to say no. Why should I do that? You know, maybe. And then I thought, well, why shouldn't I say yes, right? Because just because I do this myself doesn't mean I could do with someone else's opinion. And I do everything for free online, so why shouldn't I have something? So that's a typical thing where I think sometimes we just have this, oh no, you know, someone else deserves it more than me, when really that is creating a barrier to you receiving things. So have a think and make sure you don't fall into that trap, especially this month where for some of us there is gift giving going on. People give thanks to other people for support and help in whatever way. And next we have a message about your manifestations in general from my little manifestation oracle. And I don't believe this has ever come up before. We've got magnetism, and you've got this kind of magic potion bottle with a crystal on top here. And this is all to do with the energy around you as a person and your aura and its ability to attract more. Because people who tend to manifest better or have more success with certain things have a certain level of magnetism, and your aura can attract things in. So what I would recommend to you for manifesting is working on this. So think about your personal energy and increasing your energy. And that's different for different people. For some people, just exercise, just traditional exercise will help. For those of you into more spiritual, older systems, you might be looking at things like Tai Chi, yoga, and Qigong, or Qigong, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, I think it's Qigong. That could also be helpful because it builds inner energy. And when that happens, your aura lights up and you have the better ability to be listened to and to get your message across and for people to want what you have. So visualize your aura glowing brighter and expanding at the bare minimum. That is actually helpful. You can do that before you do something that is involving you having to have more magnetism and to help you manifest something or draw something towards you. I've got a card from the Mystical Journey Oracle for you. This card is the Awakening card. And you've got this kind of angel that has been set on fire, and here we've got this kind of cathedral building burning, all about the old you. And I especially think towards we kind of get to this year end and we're looking, some of us are being reflective on what we did and didn't do, what happened to us and the things that happened in our life over the month. If you look, this is like the old you burning away, like the phoenix energy. So it's an angel with phoenix energy. you're being encouraged to leave anything from last year or over the last 12 months that doesn't serve you. You also need to let go of any lingering limiting beliefs that you're still aware of are still with you. And you can use this point to drop anything that's weighing you down. So you are stronger from any challenges that took place over this year. I think you already know this. You probably learned a lot of lessons. There's a lot of things you will no longer tolerate. There's maybe people that you kind of are very wary of because of their behavior, things they did. As long as you're taking those lessons with you through into next year, then that's all good. So in terms of this reading, I also see a lot of circles here. The circle repeats through several of the cards, and this is very fitting because we're at the end of the year, so it's a cycle of time, it's the year end, and circles are also about integration, which again is something I think many of us are doing at this time or should do as we move forward into the next calendar year. The other thing I notice a lot is the sea appears here and here. This I think is desert sands, but definitely some sea with waves appearing. So that can be emotions and be quite high right now or during this next few weeks, but it's also about letting go. The tides and the waves is about letting go. If you can hear that noise, it's raining outside, which is quite appropriate to hear the rain as I talk about you releasing and letting go of the last year. Welcome to part 2 of the reading, and this part of the reading will give you an additional personal message and a crystal to support you through the month ahead. And I will be doing a pick a card reading for 2026, which will be out in early December, and that'll be more in depth. But I'm using my personal handmade crystal oracle here as usual, and I can't show you the cards yet, but you will still get the guidance and the crystal that you need. So just take a moment now to tune in and allow your intuition to guide you to your card for a message that you need to hear at this time. Card 1, card 2, or card 3. And once you have chosen your card, see the video chapters in the bar to jump straight to your message. And if you need longer to choose your card, then please pause the video now. So if you picked card 1, then your crystal is Amazonite. And your message is, trust your sacred gifts. You have gifts and abilities and knowledge that are part of who you are, that you inherited or brought into this lifetime, and they are important and you should honor them. So you need to trust your feelings and your vibes and your inner knowledge more in what you do, particularly if you're involved in anything in the spiritual world, whether it be Reiki, healing, working with crystals, divination. You need to trust that knowledge. It doesn't always come from what you learn. It's sometimes just something that's inside of you and knowing. A lot of my crystal work, people don't realize. They think I'm very methodical and very much about structure, but they don't realize the majority of the crystal information is just channeled through me. Like I just receive it or sense it and I trust what I get. It doesn't mean you're saying it's the only way. Psychic abilities are awakening within you at this time. Tune into them and trust them. So your affirmation for the month is, it is safe for me to use my spiritual abilities and wisdom. And the crystal Amazonite will assist you because it does help release fears around these types of things, particularly spiritual things that you're interested in. It helps healers trust themselves in what they're doing and their healing abilities. It's also a great stone for self-healing because you need to work on yourself to help others as well. For substitutes, you could also work this month with lapis lazuli, Lemurian seed crystals, or if you can get hold of a smoky Amazonite, that's also good for clearing away those fears as well. And on the bottom of the deck, when I chose that card, this crystal aquamarine was there. So your guidance is also to keep your calm. And this card turns up a lot in my readings. You may have had it before. I find that interesting. I'm not sure why that is. But emotions may be running high. We've just had a Mercury retrograde. I know myself, I've had some weird miscommunications and misunderstandings going on. I've experienced people kind of losing their calm in front of me, and then it's easy to get pulled into that, even though they don't even believe in astrology. It's always the people who don't believe in Mercury retrograde that seem to be the ones who would benefit the most from learning about it. But bear that in mind. Also, December is a stressful month. So there's a lot of things going on. You're going to have family interactions that aren't always positive. Also, those of us have work. A lot of us feel extra pressure at this time of year. If you're in retail, you'll have more to do with. Some of you may have things you have to complete before you have a holiday, if you celebrate Christmas or any similar holiday around this time. But I do think that might be why this is showing up for you. So if you can, when dealing with difficult people and stressful situations, try and let things go. Realize it's not going to actually benefit you to waste energy on these people or try to explain to them or help them see the truth. I know I've experienced that too, where it's like you realize it's not actually going to work. People just have an opinion and they just want to tell you the opinion. They're not interested in what you say to them. So try to disengage from any conflicts that come up the best you can. And what I find interesting with you is both crystals are water element crystals. And cards are associated with the suit connected with the water element. If you want any more guidance, then please see my other pick a card readings for other areas of your life. I'd love to hear from you in the comments which card you picked, or if any part of this reading resonated with you. And if you're curious about the decks or crystal books I have out, then I have links below in the description. And finally, don't forget to subscribe and hit bell notifications so that you don't miss next month's reading. I'll see you then. So if you pick card 2, then your crystal of the month is turquoise. And your message for this month is hold the vision. So what this card is all about is some of you perhaps have something that you're trying to manifest. You may be working towards something just in your life where you want to be, what you want to do. These could be more like long-term goals. They can be creative projects you're currently working on, or new ideas that you've conceived recently that you're considering or talking to others about. But you need to understand that not everyone has the vision that you do. This could be a warning for you to be careful who you share your ideas or projects with, or if you've already had interactions or around people, friends, family, people at work that don't really see or believe, remember that doesn't matter. They are not you. They don't have the ability to see far ahead or to understand the potential in something that you do. You need to focus on that long-term goal, the big picture, regardless of if you're not seeing any signs of something yet. I feel you need to keep going. You need to believe in what you're doing and believe and trust that you're doing the right thing and going in the right direction, or that what you're putting your time and effort in will pay back later. Again, ignore 3D, ignore the physical world for now, and definitely don't pay attention to people who don't have your ability to see the potential in this thing. So your affirmation this month is, I can see everything clearly from a higher perspective. And the benefits of working with turquoise are that it clears your mind, it helps you see the big picture, and also to recognize the truth. As a substitute, you could also work with iolite, labradorite, or blue kyanite. And on the bottom of the deck, when we picked your card, was the card for chrysocolla. And your guidance from the crystal is to be open to receiving. I think you might be someone that puts others first or considers others more than yourself sometimes. Maybe you're an empath, I'm not sure. And you might also be someone who overgives sometimes or thinks more about, other people and contributing than receiving. So don't reject others' help. If anyone offers you to help you, to assist you, you might think you want to do things alone, but if they can help you in some way in your daily life, be open to that. If you're receiving or anyone's left a compliment or tells you something you're good at, don't push it away. You want to receive things better. And I would also say, with this month being a month where many of us give gifts, receive the gift, accept it, right? Sometimes we push things away. As I said before with your manifesting card, sometimes we're pushing things away, and that vibration, that lingers because you're kind of always pushing away. It's like a pushing energy. We're being asked to receive. So that's your focus this month as well, is to trying to be more open to receiving things. So learn to accept, and also to know that you are deserving of things. That is one of the big lessons we have to receive when we are learning to receive. And if you want more guidance, you can also see my other pick a card readings for other areas of your life. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So let me know which card you picked, or if any part of this reading really resonated with you. And if you're curious about any of the decks or my crystal books, I have links below in the description. And finally, don't forget to subscribe and hit bell notifications so that you don't miss next month's reading, and I'll see you then. If you picked card 3, then your crystal of the month is clear quartz, and your message is raise your vibration. This card and crystal messages come forward because I think your manifestation ability has increased, but you just need to be more aware with that, kind of almost like a responsibility to maintain your energy and what you're thinking about and focusing on. So as this increases around you, especially over the next few weeks, you need to watch the mood and the energy that you find yourself in most often. So I would definitely pay attention to recurring thoughts. I find this card will come up when we're being tested. So you might find people or situations will try to throw you off and knock you off your higher vibration. People tend to go for people that are on a different level for them because they want to bring you down to their level. So what I don't want you to do is get sucked into that. Recognize it straight away. Quartz is your clarity. It's like a lens. So observe, be aware that someone's doing this, and don't take the bait. So work on your mindset this month. Think about your feelings and where they're at. Are they low or are they high? Are they somewhere in the middle? And just be more aware. And you're being asked to do what lights you up. So if it's something, whether that be a hobby, anything you're doing in your spare time, if you're in a career dilemma of what should you do, it should be something that really excites you and ignites that passion, creativity inside you. And for those of you who don't do a job like that, then you do that in your spare time, because that's going to maintain your energy. Your vibration is going to get back up, and you're going to find things a lot easier if you can maintain that higher vibration energy. So your affirmation this month is, I consciously and mindfully co-create the world I wish to see. The benefits of a clear quartz crystal are it's an amplifier of our intentions, it holds our intentions and amplifies energy, and it also expands the aura, which again taps into that magnetism that we talked about before that's helpful if you're trying to manifest. As a substitute, you could work with clear calcite, apophyllite, or a Lemurian seed quartz. And on the bottom of the deck, you had this card, which is for the Almandine Garnet crystal. The message from this crystal for you is ignite inner strength. So definitely getting the impression you have, or you may feel a bit like someone's trying to knock you off course. You may be currently going through challenges. You might find things are not as easy as you like, or things don't come easily to you. But if there's been disappointments, don't let them take over. Don't let them have the power over you. Keep going. This card is about perseverance and going ahead despite the challenges, despite the fact that things aren't always easy. Sometimes it is an uphill struggle. Sometimes we do have people that don't support us. Sometimes we have situations that feel like they're knocking us off our goals or trying to dissuade us or just distract you. You know, sometimes it's just distractions that are lowering our energy, things in the world, online, the media, people you're interacting with. Don't let that happen. You're being asked as we move forward towards the end of this year and the beginning of the next to tap into your resilience and inner strength and know that you can do this. You can get through things and you can overcome no matter what's happened to you. There is something inside you that can just be reborn like the phoenix. So if you want even more guidance, then please see my other pick a card readings for other areas of your life, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So let me know which card you picked or which part of this reading most resonated with you. And if you're curious about the decks I've used today or my crystal books, I've got all my links in the descriptions below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe and hit bell notifications so that you never miss a reading from me. I'll see you next month.